In When the Moon Hatch, we see grief as a very strong theme, deeply impacts Frey and Ken, way of love, way of fighting, and just surviving this world by such different ways. And I wanted to know, how was it like for you to write grief this differently, character to character? And as well, did any of the characters' journey impact your own understanding of it?
This story has, in a lot of ways, been my own exploration of grief. And I don't think grief is linear. I think everybody experiences it in different ways.
Yeah.
I think some people shut it out. I think some people try and force that gap, that hole in their chest full of different things to try and drown out that feeling, or to try and make it feel less hollow. I think some people really sit with it and they really feel that ache and they work through that pain and you know, I really feel as if it is no two copings of loss it will ever be the same. I lost my nana about 4 or 5 years ago, and she was very much such a huge part of my life, and she introduced me to the fantasy world in so many different ways. She lived on our farm and she had a little home that was just like 20 steps away from the house. And I would go over there in the afternoon after school or on the weekend, and I would spend just all my spare time either with her or exploring the farm, hunting for fairies, basically.
Oh.
And she had this giant stack of fairy books sitting on her counter, and I would sit there, would kneel there, and I'd flick through them, and she would make me a lemonade, and it always tasted so much better when she poured it. And sit there reading, like disappearing into these fantasy worlds and getting to know lore and fairy lore and dragon lore and all these fabulous things that I've so desperately used to hide throughout my life. And I have those fairy books now on my shelf. When I sat down and wrote Moon, it was, for me, actually, to be fair, when I first saw the world and I first saw these dragons soar up to the sky and bundle up and become these moons, I was very much coping with that raw wound of the loss of her. And I will say it until I'm blue in the face, but I don't know how that landed on me, how that idea, that concept. But I do feel like it was, for me, a very big way of me coping with that grief, of just wishing that somehow I could still just look up at the sky and talk to her and feel like I'm still seeing her in a way. And so for me, when I am writing these stories, it is very much a love letter to not only my children but also to her.